We interrupt this program for a special report from the MBBC News Network.
Good afternoon. This is Rosenthal J. Rosenthal here with breaking news. According to Associated Press, Polaroid has been rampaging through the film set of the latest Fine Brothers project. No injuries have been reported, but 3 packages of lard have been reported missing. We now return to your regularly scheduled program.
Miss B?
Yes, Polaroid.
Okay, so I have this digital camera here, and it has these numbers up here, and I can't figure out what they mean.
Well, these numbers right here, they represent your exposure settings. Like this number right there, that is your aperture.
Aperture? What is that? It sounds like it would be furniture for an ape.
No, aperture is the lens opening. That's what controls the amount of light that comes into the camera. So like a small opening would be used in a bright setting so that you don't have to let that much light into the camera. And then a larger opening would be used to bring in a large amount of light in a dark setting to let a lot of light into the camera.
I get it. So if it is dark, I would set it at 32, because that will give me a lot of light since that is a large number.
Not quite. See, with aperture it's different. A large number like 32 actually means a smaller lens opening. A larger lens opening would actually have a number like 3.5.
Say what? That doesn't make sense.
Well, that's how it works. 3.5 would be a larger lens opening letting in a lot of light. And a 32 would be a tiny little opening that would only let a small amount of light into the camera.
So what is this other number?
Well, that is the shutter speed. Shutter speed is how fast the shutter opens and closes. Let's see, let's set this to manual. And if we open this up, see?
Wow!
That's the shutter. See
Cool.
it going up and down?
Okay.
That's what takes the picture.
So then a shutter speed of 30 would be fast, and a shutter speed of 1000 would be really slow, right?
No. Shutter speed actually works the way that you think it would work, because it's actually a fraction of a second. So if you set your camera to 1000, that's actually 1/1000th of a second. So that's really fast. 1/1000th of a second is going to be a lot faster than 1/30th of a second.
This is all so confusing.
Well, it takes a little bit of practice to get used to.
I don't know. It seems pretty hard. It seems like it would be so much easier just to put the camera into automatic in order to figure out your settings.
Shooting automatic is a big no-no in the world of photography. Besides, your metering sensor might not be working properly, so you might not get an accurate setting, so it's just easier to figure out the settings on your own and shoot manually.
But how do you figure them out? I know what aperture is, and I know what shutter speed is, but how do you come up with each?
Well, it's pretty easy. First you meter, then you bracket.
You what? Then you what? You what? You what? Huh?
You
You
meter, then you bracket.
What?
What you're going to do is you're going to set the camera into P mode, okay?
Okay.
So P mode is program mode. It will automatically give you your shutter speed and your aperture.
Okay.
So in program mode, you're going to shoot the ground, all right, and you're going to note the settings. Then you're going to go into manual mode. Let's get over to manual mode. And you're going to put in those settings.
Okay.
All right. Now you bracket, which means that you're going to go your settings. You're going to go 1 stop up and 1 stop down, and then you're going to look at the images and figure out which one is the best exposure.
What do you mean by 1 stop?
Well, aperture is actually referred to as the f-stop. So if the metering gave me an f-stop of 4, then I would go up to the next aperture setting, which would be 5.6, or I would go down to 3.5. That's 1 stop down.
Oh! I think I need to play with this a bit before I completely understand.
Well, practice makes perfect. Well, boys and girls, that brings us to the end of our show for today. I hope you had fun and you learned something new, and I hope you plan on joining us next time for another exciting photography lesson in Miss B's Photography Neighborhood. Bye! Have a great afternoon.
This episode of Miss B's Photography Neighborhood has been brought to you by the letter B. This has been a miscellaneous production broadcast in association with KM Photography.